you?
It's been a hot minute since I've seen you.
It has been a hot minute. Been a couple of weeks since we had season 2, episode 2 with the wonderful Therese O'Neill.
Oh, wasn't that magnificent?
It was amazing, and it's taken us a bit to digest.
It has. It was quite nice having another body in here with us
on the green velvet couch.
Yeah. How did you feel being a little bit excluded on the single?
I much prefer being on the OG.
Yeah,
but still, how fabulous! We had a guest, but we've had 2 weeks break. What have we been doing?
Well, I need to give you the first chance to respond to your own question there.
My loaded question, perhaps. I turned 40.
Happy birthday to you.
Woo!
And what a party that was.
Oh, anyone who wants to get amongst what that party was all about, go and have a look at my socials, because it was a dress-up party and people brought it. It was so fun. So fun. Thanks so much for bringing it. And
thanks for inviting me.
Of course. The wife.
For allowing me to bring it.
Of course.
It would have been weird if I wasn't there.
It would have been weird.
People would have been wondering.
Yeah. And then it took me a week to recover from said Festival of 40, because it was my husband's 40th too. So amazing. What the heck have you been up to, my girl?
Oh, I'm scrambling to try and think.
Well, you were celebrating the Festival of 42.
You as well. Yeah. Look, to be fair, nothing too exciting.
We've just also been really busy work-wise, right?
We've just been writing lots of loans.
The market's getting hot and we are loving it sick.
It is amazing. But here we are again.
Yeah.
Tuesday. And we're back.
We are back.
Back in business, B.I.B. And Kate Littlejohn.
Yeah.
My co-host.
Yes, Cara Julian.
The amazing Kate Littlejohn, the superstar of the whole commercial and self-employed world.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And my work wife, Cara Julian, the most amazing residential mortgage broker you've ever met in your whole life. That's why she's my wife, everyone.
And we are women who
do money, but don't do
bullshit.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Oh, yeah. What do we got today, Cara?
The first one is we are unpacking something that's been in the media. It's right up your alley to be able to explain to our wonderful listeners. And then we roll straight into a story that I have to share.
Yeah. This is a cracker story.
Do not miss the story. And then ending with
a what the hack, which we're actually flipping around a little bit because there's a little bit of pre-work that needs to be done for said hack. And anyone who's watching on the old on YouTube will see that there is an iron behind us on the green velvet couch here. And if you'll just excuse me while I go and do said groundwork for said hack. And if Cara, I can't take my microphone. I can't take Dick with me. So if you could just talk us through what it is that I'm doing, and I will go and do that.
Okay. But I'm not going to give it away. No. But yeah, to be fair, for anyone that can't see what is happening now, Kate is plugging the iron in. She's going to iron a tea towel for me because that's what one does for one's wife. And then I've got a whole actual laundry basket over there. She doesn't know yet, but she's going to carry on and iron stuff. Okay, so she's just picking up the iron and here you go. And ironing, and what's a nice sound? Oh, what was stuck on? Did you not notice that plastic?
Did not notice that plastic
card on the tea towel. Oh no. Okay, so it's stuck. It's stuck hard and fast. It's plastic. It's melted into the hot iron part of the iron. Okay, so we need to come up with a solution. Is there something you've prepared earlier? Oh, what? Kate has prepared a tray filled of ice water. Why have you done that?
So this is a hack that I saw when I had done exactly this. I had accidentally melted some plastic onto the iron, and so I did what any normal person would do, and I jumped onto the old Chatty G and I said, how on earth do we get melted plastic off an iron? So we're going to test if this will actually work on my iron. I haven't used Cara's. I've brought my iron for this. So I've just melted a plastic card to the face of that iron. It is not coming off. It's really stuck. So let's see if this works. You place it in a tray of iced water, and we're going to reconvene at the end of this episode and see if that plastic comes off. Let's see. Let's see if I'm buying a new iron or not.
Oh, cannot wait. And Kate's just putting said iron, sizzling, into the, into,
It's all right, isn't it?
is it meant to do that? Into the tray.
Soon find out.
Okay. Well, there you go. I'm excited to find out whether that hack works.
I'm actually a little bit scared. I could be going to bloody Target to get a new iron later today.
This could, it's work or flop.
This could end in tears. Definitely Cara's, but anyway. Because I'm not going to be able to iron the rest of her ironing basket that she's got prepared for me, apparently. But super excited. We're going to check in right at the end of this episode to see if that actually works. So
thanks for, actually bringing that hack to the show today.
And sacrificing my Russell Hobbs iron that I've had for 15 years. All right, so Cara, right at the very start, in the introduction, you said that I'm going to be unpacking something that's in the media that we're hearing a hell of a lot of noise about, and that is the capital gains discount. There is so much discussion. Obviously, the key reason for this discussion is because housing affordability is not that great. We've got house prices going through the roof nationally. Melbourne and Sydney have always typically been less affordable than other capital cities, but because of that, they've become so unaffordable that now Brisbane, Adelaide, WA are absolutely taking off as well. And Melbourne is now not even one of the most expensive behind Sydney anymore. So it means that we've got first home buyers who aren't finding themselves in a position to be able to buy a house. We've got talk about investors being the ones who are driving a lot of this demand, hence why changes to the capital gains discount are in the chat. So the Labor government will be delivering their budget in May this year, and it is very much expected that they will do one of two things. Either they will abolish the capital gains discount in full, or they will reduce it from 50% to 25%. What I would love to unpack today, Cara, is a lot of people don't actually know or understand what that means and how capital gains tax is applied and how the capital gains discount is applied. And so I would love to explain it using a really relatable example of how this could impact someone who may already have a property or may be thinking about investing in a property.
We love that. And that's what we do best on this show. But even just to what the F is capital gain?
Yeah.
So let's even just...
We'll go right back to the start. Right back to the start. Absolutely.
So let's start this learning journey.
Now, I will say that capital gains is associated not just with property, but what I'm going to be talking about today is specific to property, because otherwise I'll be here for 4 hours and no one's got time for that. So if we're talking about capital gains in the context of property, a capital gain is essentially the profit that you make on the sale of a property. So let's say, for example, you bought an investment property for $400,000. You hold on to it for a couple of years, you have wonderful tenants, and all of a sudden you decide, actually, no, the right decision for me is to sell that property now. So you sell that property a few years later, let's call it for $550,000. So you bought it for $400,000, you sell it for $550,000, you've made a profit or a capital gain of $150,000.
Can you just keep that $150,000, Kate?
No, you cannot.
Oh, can you not?
Let me explain to you
Can
why.
you not put that in the old cheeky bank account or go for a holiday?
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be nice.
Yeah.
No, you can't, thanks to what is called capital gains tax. So what will ordinarily happen, or how it would happen now, at the moment, there is, if you've held on to that property for more than 12 months, and remember in this example, we've held on to it for a couple of years. So if you've held on to that property for more than 12 months, you will get a 50% discount on your capital gains. That is the messaging that we hear a lot in the media. We get it. Okay, there's a capital gains discount of 50%, but what does that actually mean? What are the numbers associated with that?
And that's just on an investment property. It's not on your owner occupied property, is
Correct.
it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, your home, your principal place of residence is exempt from capital gains tax. So with an investment property, with this particular example, we've held onto it for a couple of years, which means we're eligible for the capital gains discount of 50%. Remember, we made a capital gain of $150,000 on this investment property. Let's say I am a PAYG income earner, I have a lovely job, and I earn $100,000 a year. If you earn $100,000 a year, the tax that you would pay is roughly $23,000 on that PAYG income. So you pay tax of $23,000. In this case, we've bought the investment property. We've sold the investment property in this financial year. We've got a capital gain of $150,000. At the moment, because we have the 50% discount on the capital gain, we're eligible for that. That means that rather than $150,000 being the amount of the capital gain being added to my PAYG income, my total taxable income, instead of $150,000 being added to it, only half of that gets added to it because it's 50%, right? So what happens is my taxable income in this financial year goes from $100,000 to $175,000 because $75,000 is half of the capital gain. So now in this financial year, I have to pay tax on $175,000. So this comes back to your OG question that you had earlier of, can I just keep that 150 or can I bugger off to Europe for 12 months? The answer is no, because you will have to pay tax on that $175,000. Now, your employer you'll be paying tax out of your pay slip on the 100,000, right? But you haven't paid the tax on the 75 yet. So when you do your tax return, you're going to have a bill to say you need to pay X amount of tax. In total, on $175,000, assuming all things equal and whatnot, but your tax would be approximately $50,000 for the whole year. Now, remember that your employer, out of your pay slips, you're only paying $23,000. So the difference there,
let's do the math.
You got to give the tax office 27 grand. So you might be able to still bugger off to Europe, but don't go spending all that money because you've actually got to pay that tax.
That's actually such a good point, right? Because come end of the year when you need to pay tax, the tax year, boom. So if you don't take anything else away from what the most beautiful, fabulous Kate is saying, put aside some money to be able to pay for that because that could be a nasty wee surprise.
No, thank you, right? No, thank you.
No, thank you.
But we've got all this chat happening at the moment that potentially the Labor government is going to abolish the capital gains discount altogether. Now, it may happen, it may not. It depends on, political debate and all of that sort of stuff. But let's assume that they do. Let's say that the capital gains discount is no longer a thing because it is, it's argued to be quite an aggressive contributor towards demand for property, meaning it's contributing to the housing crisis, the housing affordability.
Saying no, like zero, not halfway, not meeting 25.
They're saying potentially 25 as well. There's a bit of chat. Who knows where it's actually going to end up? But for the purpose of this exercise, I just want to let's assume that you're no longer eligible for the discount. So if the capital gains tax discount is no longer a thing, that would then mean that, remember what our capital gain was on that property? It was $150,000. With the capital gains discount, it meant that only half of that was added to our taxable income. Whereas if there's no capital gains discount, it means that entire 150, you've got to pay tax on that entire 150 grand. Yeah. And, with marginal tax rates and individual tax brackets and all of that sort of stuff, like you're paying a shitload. You're paying a shitload of tax. So if there was no capital gains discount, that would mean that your taxable income goes from $100,000 from your PAYG plus $150,000. So your income goes to, your taxable income for the year is $250,000. And you are paying tax of $88,000 on that, which means you're going to owe the tax office about $55,000 when you go to pay your tax bill. So it's pretty significant. And I understand why the government is wanting to toy with this, right? Because they've done a hell of a lot to prop up demand for property with, the first home buyer scheme was 5% deposit scheme was one of them. Tax breaks for property investors is another. That's really boosting demand. So they're trying to do what they can to reduce that demand to try to cool the market and ideally get people into their own homes. That's the idea, right? But it still begs the question of the other side of the coin, doesn't it? As, are we actually going to go and build some more housing too? Which we've spoken about that at length on some other episodes of ours. So what's really important, though, is that understanding A, what's actually in place at the moment, B, what could be in place down the track, to therefore make sure that you have the right people around you to help you with your strategy, whether that is with your mortgage broker, your accountant, your financial advisor. Every single one of these people are going to be critical in helping you to make sure that you've got the right strategy for you. We can't control the government. We can't. We like to think we can, but we can't.
AKA
your money crew. Your money crew. Just a friendly reminder, this is why you need them.
It is so important because how's one expected to know everything? And no, that's just not possible, right? So finding the people that understand this, and I mean, Kate, like what an amazing, very, very easy to understand explanation of CGT and, what's happening in the media at the moment, because sometimes it can just go straight over your head. So even just that piece of advice is going to be so helpful. So,
well, just being able to apply it to your own situation. Now, not everybody is going to have as, straightforward a setup as that, maybe a little bit more complicated. But even if it is, even more so of a reason to have the right people around you to help you to unpack, well, what is my plan? It's not just now. What is my plan moving forward? Yeah.
Well, I feel like a full bottle now on CGT. Thanks, girl.
So welcome. All right, let's move on to, I am so excited for this story, Cara, and I'm going to hand the mic over to you. Well, not actually, I'll keep mine, but the floor is yours, my queen, on what is just an incredible story around, again, another person who should be in your money crew. Over to you, my love.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, so just this week gone, actually, and this is one of those stories that takes you through the emotions and out the other side. During the week, I had a beautiful customer of mine, first home buyer in her 50s. So first time buying a home can be a massive deal, right? Like it's most likely your biggest financial investment. So she did the right thing by building a support crew around her. So she came to me as her mortgage broker and she found a buyer's agent.
Awesome.
Right. So buyer's agent, for anyone that doesn't know, essentially, if you look at a real estate agent, would be most likely looking at ensuring that the seller of a property gets the best price.
Yep.
A buyer's agent essentially works for you as the purchaser to help you find a property, to help you, if you're not used to the negotiation, if you're having to go to auction, they should be a full bottle in there to protect you, the buyer. So anyway, that's fine. She gives me a call during the week and said, I had done a pre-approval for her. Really important when buying a property is to get a pre-approval. Number of different reasons, but one of them is that you know your budget. So she called me and said, oh, sorry, last night I was really busy. We were placing bids at a boardroom auction.
Oh, good.
I went, oh, a boardroom auction? She said, yeah. I said, so did you have going into that auction, did you have your buyer's agent talk to the agent and get them to negotiate some additional clauses to add to the contract if you're successful in your bid? Because a boardroom auction is similar to a standard auction where as soon as that hammer goes down, it's unconditional.
You're locked in.
you are locked in. But with a boardroom auction, you can actually have it all done via email. If the vendor, the seller, agrees, you can have some clauses added into that contract. So I said, please tell me that you had a contract review by a conveyancer clause. Please tell me that you had a satisfactory pest and building inspection and a finance clause. She goes, a what? No? I didn't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. I mean, okay, so thankfully your bid was not successful. And I went in and explained to her all through that part of the process. And she felt sick in the stomach, thinking that she had a buyer's agent that she was paying paying for a buyer's agent for the services of protecting her and supporting her through the purchase of a property.
And that's 101.
So she felt sick when I told her how exposed and vulnerable she was.
And how lucky is she to have you to help you with that when, that's not part of your role as our role as mortgage brokers, but to help her with understanding what she can and can't expect. Massive. But the poor thing, she would have felt sick. Sorry, continue.
Okay, so I was like, lucky. And that was the end of it, I thought. And then she called me the next day and she said, oh, I have had an offer accepted on a property. She said, oh, it just doesn't feel quite right. I didn't need to get the offer in until next Tuesday. So this was Wednesday. But the buyer's agent is pushing me to put an offer in today. She said, I've offered too much and it was accepted. And I said, okay, but you've got a finance clause in there? And she said, yes. I said, what about pest and building? She said, oh no, the buyer's agent said I didn't need one because the apartment that I'm looking to purchase is on the ground floor. Same buyer's agent. At this point, I am feeling sick as well.
That makes absolutely no sense.
So, long story short, the customer fortunately was able to get out of the contract. She's going to take some time to recover from this experience. We have had, through sharing stories within obviously within the industry, have had some beautiful buyer's agents come forward and actually offer their services for free to help support this customer next time she's ready to buy a property, because it was such a horrible process for this customer. So it restores your faith in humanity when you see that happen, doesn't it?
Massively, right? And humanity is awesome. You just need the right people around you, right?
Yeah.
And this is a huge example of that. And, when we're sharing that sort of story around the industry and just talking to trusted colleagues about it, you start to question yourself and you go, am I being a bit too worked up? This seems really unreasonable and unprofessional, but are we being a bit too worked up about this? And then, no, we're not at all. It's just, it's really disheartening. It's such a shame that this poor client who is, in her 50s, buying her first home, the one and only time that she's likely to purchase a property, deserves nothing but the utmost professionalism, love and care and help. And there are beautiful people in the industry who will do that. And that's a prime example, right? A prime example of being able to turn what's been a really upsetting and sickening experience for her into a really positive one. And
absolutely amazing, because the point is that not every buyer's agent is like that. Like, so, people have stories of mortgage brokers, real estate, like everyone, which is why it's so important to have that money crew, trusted advisors around you to help support in that process. So I thought it's a good idea just to give some tips to people if you're looking at purchasing a property.
Great idea.
If you're buying through an auction, it's quite different. Not a boardroom auction, but in an auction, you need to be really prepared. If you are, very confident that this is a property you want, you need to have your pest and building done prior. You need to have a conveyancer have reviewed your contract prior. You need to have your pre-approval prior, because as soon as your bid is accepted,
you are unconditional.
It's really important to have had your pre-approval done so that you can understand your budget, but also to add the satisfactory pest and building clause and finance 2-week clause into the contract to protect you as much as you possibly can.
And just a hot little tip with the finance clause one as well is it's really important what the amount is on that. So make sure you're speaking to listen to your mortgage broker and your conveyancer there, not the real estate agent. Just a hot tip there.
100%. And don't be pushed into removing any of these clauses because it may help strengthen your offer. These are there to help protect you. And again, one of the biggest financial investments of your life.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And it's, that beautiful client is, I can't wait to hear when she is ready to purchase a property and she finds the right one. So, should we check in?
Oh, yeah.
Am I going to be buying a new iron or not? I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous. It's like $50, but anyway.
What did Chatty G say how long to leave it for?
10 minutes. You're going to have to...
Oh, okay. Are we ready? Oh, it's come off.
I didn't even have to peel that. That has literally...
Oh, my gosh.
Just fallen off. Look, I'm going to give some... You're going to have to talk, darling.
To give some context to what she has here is the tray showing.
Literally just stuck to the iron.
Has fallen straight off.
Look, that's like that card is fucked now. Sorry, Kingpin time zone. Yeah. You're going to have to get a new card. Thank you. But look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Just came straight off.
It's a hack that actually works. So next time if you're ironing with your Visa card or something right next to the iron and you happen to iron over it, oh my God, what the heck? That worked.
Yeah. It's actually a brilliant hack.
It's incredible. I love that.
And so the reason why I needed that hack was my daughter had school swimming and I was labeling her bathers with the iron-on transfer thingies. And her bathers that I was doing that on had a plastic tag, like a clothes tag, that melted to my iron. And I was like, what a sweet hack. You just need some ice and some water. Bish, bash, bosh.
The tray. And pop it in.
10 minutes.
Don't mind it sizzling and doing all that stuff at the start.
No, it's totally safe.
Wondered.
It's totally safe. But there you go. We finally got a hack that actually works and a pretty sweet one too.
Yeah, girl.
I mean, we won't tell everyone that we don't really iron, but anyway. Clearly we don't because I end up melting shit to the iron all the time.
You've been screwed. You wouldn't have been able to carry on your housewifey ironing chores.
Damn it.
Ironing your husband's undies.
Or the hankies, remember that? The fucking hankies. Gross. Who uses a hanky? Gross.
Yeah.
Like snot in your pocket.
Oh.
Yuck. Get a tissue.
It's actually really gross
Isn't
when you think
it?
about that.
Like you just carry around your snot in your pocket or up your sleeve. Remember that? Up the sleeve?
Down your bra.
Oh, snotty
you put
boobies.
it in the wash and then it all just like goes through the rest of the wash.
Oh, I feel a bit sick.
Oh, no thank you.
Well,
anyway.
My work wife, it's
Moving
been
on.
so lovely hanging out with you again. The chi is back. And I think pretty soon we're going to have another guest on, and we've got quite a few guests coming up, and we're really, really excited and quite diverse too. But we would love to hear from everyone if there's a certain guest that you would like us to approach. Who would you like to hear from? We've got plenty of people who have lots of wonderful things to come and talk to our listeners about.
Or potentially, if you know someone and have a cheeky contact that you think would fit within or on our No Rules.
Yeah.
Awesome, fun podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, reach out.
Bring it. But we look forward to talking to everybody next week. No idea what we're covering yet because we've got to sort out the schedule a bit. But
we've been a bit, slow starting off, but we've got no rules. So, I mean.
We've been busy.
Just been busy. No, we can do it.
Yeah. It'll be fun. Tune in. We'll see you next week, everyone. Bye, Workwife.
Bye.